Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Bad Budo. Uh, time to time podcast I put out when something comes across my radar. I'm your host, Don Rowley. Still have a little bit of chocolate on my lips. I've been eating some Halloween candy. Anyways, so this time around, I'm going to be talking what I did last time around and deal with Bret Gordon and Stephen Hatfield. If you are familiar with my previous video that I released on September 13th, I gave a reaction video and commentary on an exchange that Stephen Hatfield had with the head of the Renshinkan and the senior members in the United States about some claims he made. And, well, let's just say that he fouled it up. There's no, doubt about that. Again, they can spin it how they want. Essentially, it comes down to the head of the Renshinkan, through his senior students, acting as translators and intermediaries, asked for clarifications for some claims that Stephen Hatfield made. In a situation like that, even if the head asks what you think of macaroni and cheese, you answer, okay? It's the head of the Renshinkan asking these questions, so you answer. But more than that, these were questions relating to things that he had claimed about his experiences and qualifications that led him in the door of the Renshinkan. Okay, so he would not have been a member of the Renshinkan if he had not told them these things. And when they asked him to clarify and send proof of what he said, he refused. He told them if they had any questions about the person that taught him, who, again, Hasaka Yutashi, in some places in the conversation is referring to him as a grandfather, that they could Google it. This is incredibly rude. This is not forgivable. Anyone that has any experience with traditional Japanese martial arts would know you don't do that. Okay. In terms of proof, he said he would not send it to them. He would not, not email, not anything like that. Okay. So, and again, these were relating to things that he claimed he told them so that he could get in the door for the Renshinkan. And of course, he and Bret Gordon seemed to be blaming the trolls, the people, um, that, point out these problems rather than his own actions, his own unwillingness to back up what he said, show that he is a man of integrity. Because when you say something, you back it up. That's the way it is. Anyway, so on October 20th, Bret Gordon put out something and he gave some clarification that that I'm jumping on because no, no question, no question that this is how it is. It's not, supposition on my part. This is what Bret Gordon said. Okay, so I'm going to read this off. I'm going to use the thing, the screenshot as a thumbnail. So, if you want to look at it, read over it, fine. But I'm going to read it over the pertinent section right here about claiming black belt in Renshinkan. Bret Gordon wrote, "That is 100% categorically false, and I challenge anyone to find a post or article where Stephen Hatfield or myself claim to have rank from the Renshinkan. This stems from a video Hatfield posted demonstrating Renshinkan techniques while wearing a midnight blue belt, mistakenly identified as a black belt. Gee, why? Have you ever seen midnight blue? Okay. I'm going to get back to this. At no point did he make any claim to having rank from them, and simply wearing a uniform and belt complete with patches and embroidery clearly designated from another art is not a crime. If someone was a Goju instructor and demonstrated a kata from Shotokan, would they need to remove their uniform and belt first?" Okay, let me get into this, folks. Let me just, point these out. Um, Organizations like the Renshinkan are very, very concerned about two things: quality control and reputation management. They do not want half trained people or non trained people, in terms of Stephen Hatfield, teaching stuff until they are, checked off. Yes, you're good enough to teach this. And yes, showing things online, videos, is a form of teaching in their eyes. You might, I sometimes, when I teach Rokushakubo, a 6 foot staff, sometimes say, well, the characteristic of Okinawans is like this, character of Chinese using long stick is like this. We do it like this, and this is why we do it like this. Okay, I'm not showing a kata. I'm not teaching a technique. I'm just showing some characteristics and pointing things out for people to pick up while they're learning what I teach. I'm not teaching them something else. Gordon clearly states that Hatfield was demonstrating techniques from the Renshinkan. This is important. He made it clear. Okay, he wasn't. I didn't know when I saw this exchange, if Hatfield was there. Oh, I've been accepted by the Renshinkan. Thank you for accepting me. Blah blah blah. No, he is showing stuff that he says is from the Renshinkan, and he is not qualified to teach. If you saw my last video, you would note that he claimed he did not know who one of the interviewers was, even though he was the highest ranked member in the United States, because he was so new. This was like last February, sometime between joining the organization and the conversation that I did. He put up a video. They found out about it somehow, and he took it down. And the conversation starts from there. So he had just barely started there, and he's demonstrating things from the Renshinkan. This is not acceptable, okay? I cannot stress this enough. They are very, very big about quality control and reputation management. And Stephen Hatfield had no right to demonstrate things without express permission and rank. And the matter of rank, them claiming rank, okay? They might not have said they had a black belt, but he was, that whole thing about a midnight blue belt. Okay, what does midnight blue look like? Take a quick look, look up the color midnight blue. What does it look like to you? It looks like a black belt. Well, gee, why was he wearing something that so many people would mistake for a black belt if he didn't want to? I mean, he has black belts. I mean, this was from another art. His uniform and that whole thing about clearly from another art. Most people really would not be able to tell the difference between Renshinkan. I don't know what the Renshinkan wears. Okay, and the writings and all that on things. Even if you read Japanese or any whatever it's written in, it's hard to tell. Okay, so he's wearing something that looks like a black belt. Why would he be wearing a blue belt anyways? I mean, what art does he have a midnight blue belt in? Obviously, to my mind, he wanted people to think that he was part of the Renshinkan and he had a black belt and he was demonstrating techniques. He identified himself as a member of the Renshinkan. He was showing these are things from the Renshinkan. He's wearing what 99.9% of the population would think is a black belt. And he's saying, well, no, it wasn't really a black belt. I never really claimed that. Okay, most people, if you are honest, you would say that the majority of people seeing him wear a black belt while identifying himself as a member of the Renshinkan and talking about how he is showing Renshinkan techniques would walk away thinking that he was a black belt in the Renshinkan. And he's not. He never even, as far as I can tell, went to one lesson, one session. I mean, maybe he went to a seminar. I don't know. But he was so, again, he had just started according to the conversation. He didn't even know who the highest ranked member in the United States was. He did not have any formal rank. And unless you have an instructor rank, you should not be demonstrating stuff, okay? Unless it's very, very generic, this is what a karate type punch is. This is compared to what we do, okay? You're not actually teaching people to do a karate punch. You are teaching what you know and comparing kind of what somebody else does. Stephen Hatfield, according to Bret Gordon, was demonstrating techniques from the Renshinkan. Okay, that's what it comes down to. That is a sin. And yeah, so I want to thank Bret Gordon for giving us a great example of just how duplicit, how sneaky Stephen Hatfield tried to be. Okay, so he used a midnight blue belt. He identified himself as a member of the Renshinkan. He demonstrated techniques from the Renshinkan. He just didn't talk, again, he didn't say thank you for accepting me to the Renshinkan or anything like that. He was teaching, as far as the Japanese are concerned. Demonstrating stuff is teaching. And he had nothing close to even this first rank in Daitoru Renshinkan style. But he gave that impression, okay? And if you think that I'm wrong and that that it's just a big misunderstanding. We're all a bunch of duty heads bullying him. Well, leave it as comment in this section. This ought to be fun. Go ahead and like, subscribe. Feel free to share this, and I'll see you next time something else comes across my radar. Good day.